with all of co-creation in the universe, there are some simple things that have to do with how we are in relationship with everything around us, because everything is consciousness and everything is information. So I'm going to go through each week. I will go through one particular phase or one particular step of the process. But just for tonight, I want to give you the overview. And if some of you are repeating this course with me, thank you for doing that. And you're going to still get more value out of it, even though it may be a second time for you, because things are constantly changing. My own work is, I'm changing. My work is changing. What my capacities that I'm allowed to share with everyone are changing, and they're changing very rapidly. And that's so that you can have them too, so that I can share them with you. So we're looking at very simple things. It's a cycle. It goes around, and as it goes around, it creates a spin. You're going to see some diagrams, but we're beginning with the impulse to give. From giving, we are moved to asking, how can we best give? And what is it that we are meant to give? And how should we give it? The next thing that comes in response to our impulse to give and our impulse to ask is receiving. And when we ask these questions from pure intention and from our heart, the answers and what you will receive will absolutely blow you away. I literally now, since like the middle of January, I have been gobsmacked every single day, without exception. Okay. So giving, asking, receiving. When we receive from this cycle, and it's going around and it's been set up this way, it's so joyful, it's so amazing, it's so delicious, and so exciting, and so wondrous that our next impulse is to share that energy. And then when we've gone through the cycle and we've come to the place of sharing, we're sharing all kinds of things with each other. From the impulse, oh, I want you to know this, or I want you to feel this, or I want you to taste this, or I want you to hold this, or I want you to have this, or I want you to experience this. From sharing energy. And when we do that together in community, whether that's a community of just you, yourself, and your source, your Trinity, or the community of you, your source, and your sacred union counterpart, your sacred union, or it's in your community of 4 people, 5 people, 1,000 people, right? You're sharing in community. And from there, it's such a beautiful experience that we are naturally flowing back towards gratitude. And the cycle begins again. So I want you to understand that this is different from manifestation. Manifestation is driven by ego. It is not driven by the new heart center. I want you to know that the heart center, we're moving, we've evolved beyond the 7 chakra system. We are undoing and transforming, and there's a lot going on with what we have been dealing with as this chakra system. As the Earth's energy Schumann resonance rises, more and more and more of that is dissolving and being reorganized by the organic system that belongs to this planet. Okay? You don't want to pull your chakras out, but you do want to be engaged in a relationship that now allows them to naturally evolve and transform. So what I will share with you first, because I've done this course before, is that the heart center, your heart center, and everyone is feeling an enormous expansion of their heart centers now. Difficult or easy, it's happening to all of us. Depending on the amount of inner work you've done and spiritual transformation, it's difficult or easy. And even when it's easy, it's challenging. But that's what's upon us now. And I want you to understand in the new system, what you think of as your heart center is now your new root chakra. It is here, right here, and only from here that we will be able to co-create in relationship with this planet. We will no longer be able to manifest because manifestation is driven by the ego. It is not driven by the heart. Okay? We don't want to confuse what we feel in our heart as desire, okay, and what we experience when our hearts are fully opened to our entire full multidimensional self, in which desire itself is transformed. So I gotta update this stuff because I'm experiencing it and it's new. Now, what I have been experiencing since I have been living in 5D for the full year this last year is how co-creation is changing. And that's why I'm now calling this program Co-Creation Catalyst. Because when we move into 5D and we're able to hold that frequency all day, all night, Marianne, and going down into what is now the 3D fractured frequency that's very volatile and unstable right now. Part of what we get to do as catalysts is we hold the frequency so that there will be continuity of experience when 3D collapses. And 3D, as we know it, is collapsing now. And in order for us to move through this transition with continuity of consciousness, those of us who are in 5D now have to hold this frequency. So as you move in to this frequency and as you evolve into it and literally begin to take up living on Earth 2.0, because that's what's going on, you'll have a sense of memory about who you are, who you have been, and who you are going to be. You need the continuity. So for the whole entire planet or for the collective to go into a psychotic break because the continuity slips would be so destructive, and it's not necessary. So as co-creation catalyst, I'm going to quickly get you caught up on the basic science of co-creation. And when you actually do use these tools, you will begin to see things happening very fast now, because with the planet spiking high, with the Schumann resonance, it spiked to over 40 gigahertz. 4 years ago, it was 7.8. This is the planet shaking off this terrible virus infection, interdimensional virus infection that has made her so sick, and us along with her, and also our being a food source for other beings that most of the time we can't see. As co-creation catalysts, we are now empowered to be part of the collaboration that brings that to its natural conclusion, its expiration date. Okay? So I congratulate you for feeling interested and invested and ready to learn. And I will ask you to set all of your limiting beliefs aside and just live from here. And when you're in this course with me, be here. Be present from here in your heart center. And as it's a struggle still for some of us, as you're practicing this, you're going to need to notice every single moment of fear and doubt, because that is the energy of 3D. You're going to need to notice it when it comes up, because that's going to be your opportunity to take that energy and transform it and transmute it into your 5D frequency, right? So this sounds like a lot, but you'll see that the presentation is pretty well organized. It's very simple, and I think it's pretty clear. Now, when I'm ready, I'm going to share a screen with you and share a recorded video, because when I organized this course and we taped it the first time, the information was delivered perfectly. And so there's no need for me to try to recreate that. But what I will do each session is talk to you about new things that are happening, things that are changing, and new skills that are evolving as you step into and mature in your capacity as a catalyst.